Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Truck Talk Tuesday, the show where I sit in my truck on Tuesdays, talk to you guys about real estate. Today's episode is brought to you by 65-mile-an-hour winds and insurance premiums. Think I'm joking? Well, I'm not. A couple nights ago here in Central Oregon, we had a massive windstorm, caused a ton of damage around the area. Actually lit one of the neighborhoods down south on fire, caused several thousand, well, lots and lots and lots of damages throughout the area. And I would like to bring to attention the importance for checking on your insurance. Nothing happened to me personally, thankfully, but this is a very good opportunity to talk about like homeowners insurance as well as rental insurance and renters insurance, because these things are something that everyone should be aware of and know what their premiums are, what their policies look like, and what's all covered, because a majority of people, we aren't aware of exactly what our insurances look like. With our homeowners policies, there are so many different variables, from how much stuff is covered, what personal property is covered, what's generally covered on your property, and it's so variable. And sometimes it seems like, oh, well, I'll just go with the cheapest policy, or I'm going to go with your big name box brokerage and just get a policy that covers my home. That isn't always the best way to go. I always recommend calling an insurance broker and seeing what the best policy is for what you own and what you need to have covered. Personal property is always something that people tend to underinsure. If there are any fires or any types of damages, you really want to make sure that you are covered to the amount of stuff that you owe. A lot of policies start at like $10,000, and you'd be amazed at how much stuff you have in your house once that stuff is gone. It's gone, and it's way over 10 grand. So talk to your insurance broker, get that checked out. Renters, the same thing goes for you guys. The state of Oregon requires a minimum policy of $100,000 with no minimums on personal property. Speaking from experience, when I was in property management, there was a fire in one of the units that we managed. Luckily, it wasn't in the house, but it was in the garage. It was a detached, and that unit had about $75,000 worth of stuff in it, and the person that was living there had a cheaper policy through one of the larger insurance companies. They only had $10,000 worth of coverage, and a majority of it was their work supplies, so they were out about 65 grand in terms of just general equipment. So if you are a renter, I always say look to get the maximum policy. It'll cost you like $20 extra a year. If there are any damages and it is your fault, and you have a $300,000 policy, it covers all that, versus a $100,000 policy where you can be on the hook for damages if there are anything that can be traced back to you. Again, make sure your personal property is taken care of, but also make sure that your general property is taken care of, and understand what is covered in your policy. Not a lot of people have like wind or fire, different types of things that are just generally covered in their insurance policy. So make sure that you educate yourself. Find a good insurance broker. The best thing about an insurance broker is they can shop multiple companies for you, find the best prices as well as the best coverages for your needs. And each property has different needs. If you have farm and ranch, if you have a condo, if you have just a general home, each thing has something that's a little different. So reach out, get yourself educated, and make sure that you understand what your insurance covers, and make sure that you're covered from any of these things that can happen. I mean, here we had 90-foot poplars coming down on people's roofs, and they weren't covered for wind damage, so they are out of pocket for a new roof and new trusses and things like that. So tens of thousands of dollars, because they didn't have the right coverage for their area. So if you have any questions or you need a good insurance broker, feel free to give me a call. Phone number is 541-815-4136. I'm Parker. I'm Selling Central Oregon. Have yourself a great day.